I want to share with you guys here some information pertaining to the U.S. government and the Pentagon and how they're planning and what they're teaching the individuals that are going through all these different ranks, through these different alphabet gangs, and what they're saying about the future here when it comes to big cities, when it comes to megacities, what they're saying about the most dangerous places on the planet, and what they know and what they're expecting to do by the year 2030. And people should pay attention here. Now, the video itself brought out after a request through the Freedom of Information Act. And if you guys remember, this shadow government that meets every Wednesday that Undersecretary Patrick Kennedy is a part of, every single Freedom of Information Act request passes through that group before it's ever released. Remember that. Now, in this video that they just put out, they paint this dystopian future of what the megacities are going to look like and how they're going to function come the year 2030. And there's that 2030 agenda once again. And they're saying 60% of the populations on the planet will reside in these megacities, with those megacities holding 70% of the world's GDP. Now they go on to talk about how life will exist from the highest high-rises down to subterranean cities that will have their own social code, way of life, the whole nine. See, they're already planning for this. Now, there's other things here that they're not stating, and it brings up the big question, what do they know? There has to be some kind of catalyst, or maybe multiple events that steer this in the direction that they're wanting, but this is strictly dividing the people and widening the gap between the rich and the poor, and they don't keep that secret. They let it be known here that a lot of this fighting and everything else is going to be because of that gap, and that resources are going to be running thin. Fresh water. There's going to be makeshift electrical grids they even talk about in here. So what does that mean? If there's makeshift electrical grids, that means that they expect the grid to be going down. They already have their backup. They already have their own grid. They never tell you. They will never tell you. Because as soon as the American people see that they do, well, I'm not so sure anymore what the effects are going to be when the American people see stuff. Because we've been dumping information left and right. We've been screaming to the high hills. The Podesta emails are being blasted out there by all different kinds of outlets. You can get them if you want them. But yet the mainstream media is not talking about it. And for us to awaken people and to make a difference out here, you got to play your part out there, people. Everybody has to play their part in sharing information, in awakening people, helping people. People just taking this information and keep it to themselves, it's not doing any good in helping others. If I was to do that, we'd never put out any videos. Wouldn't be trying to help anyone if I wanted to take that approach. And if I wanted to take the approach that, this is old news or everybody already knows. You know how many people out there that don't know would never hear it? So you can't be, conceited and thinking that it's all about what you know and just thinking that everyone already has in their head everything that you know. It's not the case. You have generation after generation of youth coming up right now that have no clue of what is really going on. In all honesty, that is where we need to be focused, on the youth. They've already bought out and control your whole education system that you just send your kids off to every day. They're not supposed to be honing in on any religious or political beliefs whatsoever, yet they're instilling all this stuff behind your back into your kids and dumbing them down. There's no true means of survival taught. That's on you. But they're gearing up, and for what it's worth, they definitely see a chaotic atmosphere here in the future. But it brings up the question, what else do they know that they leave out of this? What do they know that is coming? And with everything being engineered as much as you know it is, and staged, wow. Shout outs to those out there that fight the good fight. You are appreciated more than you know. And like I said, this connects openly to the 2030 agenda as they reference it again. And make sure to check out the whole video here because it's interesting in how they lay this whole thing out. Also, make sure to check out our recent sponsor here, Essential Drugstore. For any of you out there that want to stock up on medical supplies before it hits the fan, that's what it's there for. I'll leave links for all this in the description. Keep your eyes open, folks. Much love.